Welcome to the Command Report, your number one news report for the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders quarterback Carson Wentz spoke to the media earlier this week. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
What's it been like being out here and getting used to the offense? Where do you feel like you guys are at?
It's been a lot of fun, honestly. For me, especially this time of year, I kind of reflect on the last 2 years, and with COVID and everything, haven't had a true offseason, haven't had an OTA, so it seems like it's been a while. And so for me, that's been a lot of fun, first and foremost, to be able to be around the guys in the locker room, outside the locker room, go to dinners, go golfing, do all those things, get to know these guys, but also on the field to get the work in. It's been a lot of fun getting to know them. I have a lot of expectations for this offense and just seeing, little flashes of what I think we can be. Obviously, it's not perfect. That's why it's OTAs. That's why we're out here kind of throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks and who we're going to be as an offense. But it's been a lot of fun, and I have a lot of high hopes for this team.
Hey, Carson, it's early. We're only a few weeks in, but has anybody emerged as one of your favorite targets thus far?
It's hard to say, all of those things. I think we have a unique group. Both, the way we use our running backs out of the backfield, those guys bring a different dynamic. Tight ends as well. Receivers, we got a lot of speed, a lot of weapons. It's been fun getting even the young guys involved. The guys we drafted, Jahan, Cole, Brian Robinson, getting all those guys in the mix kind of halfway through this offseason. It's been a lot of fun to just see different personalities, and really we'll start to see that in training camp. Once the pads go on, they can get press man-to-man coverage, all those fun things. So everybody looks really good right now, and the pads will come on, and that'll really kind of start to separate guys. And I think we got a good bunch of the skill set guys.
Obviously, Terry's not here. I'm not sure if you've spoken to him or not, but what do you think his arrival eventually will bring to the offense, and are you excited to unlock maybe a new level of offense with him?
For sure. I've spoken with Terry quite a bit. Been around him a couple times already, so excited for when we do get back out on that field together. And everybody knows what he brings to the table. I've now been watching film and seeing different things, and seeing him just continue to make play after play, and the dynamic he brings will just elevate us. There's no doubt about it. So he's an extremely talented guy and a great person, I've already learned, and a hardworking guy. So I know he'll be ready to go when that time is.
Carson, Jahan, you've thrown to him a lot. The 3 days we've been here, it seems like you guys have formed a nice little connection. What are your first impressions of him?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a quiet kid, young kid, but he's a hard worker. He's smart. He's instinctual. He catches the football as natural as anybody I've been around. Just how naturally he plucks it out of the air. So I got a lot of high expectations for him, and just as a rookie to just continue to keep growing, learning, and understanding the bigger picture of this game. And I think he's doing a really good job of where he's at right now. And like you said, definitely the last couple of weeks kind of started to develop a little chemistry, and hopefully we can keep building on that come next week and then into training camp.
And then earlier today, Ron said that he feels like you have a good command of the offense thus far. How would you say, picking up the playbook and everything's been?
Yeah, it's always a challenge. Don't get me wrong. Learning a new system, it's a new language, all those things. But at the same time, it's still football. You're not reinventing the wheel. There's nothing crazy. There's different intricacies within an offense and different schemes and different ways you want to attack the defense. And that's been exciting to see Coach Turner's philosophy and get to work with him. But at the same time, it's always a challenge learning all those things. But that's why we have this time, and I'm thankful for it that we can, get the time to study, but also, have the walkthroughs, have the practices, kind of make those mistakes and learn from them right now.
Carson, you've obviously been through a few things the last couple of years. I'm just curious, how do you feel different? What do you I think you mentioned in a recent interview about feeling more mature or something like that. How do you feel that way?
Yeah.
What's contributed to that?
I'm older. My family life is different. I got 2 kids. Everything's changed. Everything. You mature a little bit. You see the world a little bit differently. I've now, been on, this is my 3rd team, all those things. So you kind of see a different perspective, and so it's been fun. At the same time, an older guy in the locker room, coming in and getting to know guys, and there's guys that were born in the 2000s all of a sudden making me feel old, and so all those things, just getting to know guys in a different way, guys that are from different backgrounds, different seasons of life, all of those things. And hopefully as a leader and a veteran in that locker room, I can help kind of lead them and bring them along, and I'm excited for it, and it's been a lot of fun.
By the way, guys born in the early 90s made me feel old. So, but with that, what are some things that maybe you learned from Indianapolis, from Philly, that you can say, okay, I need to get better here. I need to do better with this, whether it's with teammates, whether it's on the field, what?
Yeah, I mean, you're always trying to learn, always trying to be a better teammate, a better friend, trying to be a better husband every day, a better father every day. And I'm always trying to learn and grow and be reflective and say, okay, I missed that opportunity. I missed that opportunity to kind of make an impact on a younger guy or be involved with that teammate or whatever that looks like. So I'm always trying to learn and just build as good of relationships as I can with everybody, both sides of the ball, coaches, equipment, staff, training staff. I'm going to make mistakes. I'll be the first to admit it, and so always trying to grow and be self-reflective and be a better person in every way, shape, and form.
Hey, Carson. I know you said you don't pay attention to outside opinions and that sort of thing, but Troy Aikmans said that he views this as kind of your last chance to prove that you're a capable franchise quarterback in this league. And I'm wondering, just how do you view that opinion, or just see, do you agree with it basically? Do you see Washington as your last chance to?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that was said. Quite frankly, I'm fine with it. Everyone's got their own opinion, and I'm just excited to be playing this game, have this opportunity. I think we have the ability to do something special here, and then we have a really good skill set offensively to be dynamic. And it takes one day at a time, obviously. But for me, I don't try to put too much pressure on myself. I always have high expectations for myself and for the offense, but I don't try and play those types of games. I don't have enough mental space to kind of process all that. It can wear on you. So for me, I just show up to try and be the best I can be, go home and be the best I can be as a father and as a husband, come back and do it again.
And I'm wondering, how does this offense differ, or what's kind of complicated about learning this system and past some of the other stuff you've been in?
Yeah, it's probably not a ton different. I'd say just the terminology is different. There's probably a fair amount of terminology that carried over from Philly to Indy that here it's completely new. As far as that, definitely, the running backs are big involved in the passing game, probably more than I've seen in my past, and that speaks towards who we have in the backfield and what they bring to the table. So yeah, I think the way, especially this time of year, you're trying new stuff, new play actions, new protections, new different things, new schemes, new ways to stretch the ball down the field. So it'll be interesting to see how we take this offseason and what we were able to kind of just throw out there and see kind of what we focus in on come season time. And but yeah, it's been fun. I do love the learning and the intricacies of how you can take the same play, and all three teams I've been on, maybe you're reading it a little bit differently, or there's a little nuance to the play, and I love that part of the game, and just trying to bring a bunch of minds together and be as good as you can be.
Is there anything different about the way you are going about progression? Is there anything
Nothing crazy. Just some new schemes, like I was saying, some new nuances to it. Some of them, yes, maybe you're reading a little bit differently and all of those things, but nothing crazy. But hats off to Coach Turner and just getting us quarterbacks ready and helping us understand the why behind what we're doing and how we're trying to attack the defense.
These last few weeks, we've been asking your coaches and teammates about you, and when they describe you, they all kind of say the same thing. We've heard brilliant, smart, wicked intelligent, and then we've also heard he has an extremely high IQ. Off the charts, I think is what Sam Cosme told me. So have you ever had an IQ test? What is it? And are you shocked when you hear that this is the description?
I think I got them all fooled is what I think. I must be putting off this persona of something. I think it just comes down to for me, going into my 7th year, I've accumulated a lot of football and knowledge of this game. I by no means think I'm brilliant or anything. I'm just trying to learn as quick as I can and put that into action out on the field. So I do think maybe I have them fooled a little bit. I'm trying to learn it just like they are. But it's been fun, getting around them and trying to lead the guys in a way, make sure everybody's lined up and everybody's doing the right thing. But we have a really smart offense, and guys are doing a really good job picking up everything.
And I see you're all smiles up here. When we talk to your teammates, that it's been the same thing. They've all said, we're having a lot of fun. How much fun is it for you to be a part of this team?
It is a lot of fun, honestly. And kind of like I said earlier, just even this time of year has always been one of my favorites, just because you don't have all the stress and pressure of the season and everything, but you still get to be around the guys as much as you can. And so you're building and getting, building that chemistry. You can start to see building something special in little moments at a time, and getting around the guys. And that's something I think I've missed about the last 2 years with COVID and everything, being around the guys, building that chemistry, both on and off the field. And so I'm having a lot of fun doing it right now.
I want to get to the important stuff. I understand Sam Howell only eats chicken. Have you heard this? And what have you guys investigated this at all?
That's actually news to me.
Okay.
He probably didn't want to admit that in the quarterback room, so I will be having a word with him tonight on that. Yeah, that's an issue. We'll have to get that corrected.
We were talking to Scott the other day. This is an offense that's needed more big plays over the past few years. You're a guy who can provide that, obviously. How do you come to the line approaching, the need to generate that, the understanding of how important that is, but also how that can go wrong as well?
Yeah, I mean, for one, it starts with the play call. Every play call has a different emphasis and what we're trying to accomplish on that play. Even when we call a shot play, if it's not there, don't force it. Be smart. And that's something, I'm always trying to learn and kind of find that fine line of, okay, when to be aggressive, when to check it down. And so that's always something you're trying to learn. But again, it starts with the play call and understanding from taking it from the film room to the meeting room to the walkthroughs to practice to the game, just what we're trying to accomplish within each play. We're going to run the ball, we're going to throw quick passes, we're going to throw screens. You're not always trying to hit the home run. Hopefully those small ones go for home runs, but you're trying to just ultimately win the game. And there's a little chess match in there over and over and over throughout the game, and that's part of playing this position and understanding when's the right time to strike. And again, that starts with the play calls, and I think Coach Turner's got a really good grasp on that.
Take 3 more. Update per sources, Sam Howell also eats pork. My question, though, is you've been described as a big arm, big passer, like to go downfield, verticality. A lot has come out of Indy, but one of the things that came out of Indy was said at times maybe reluctant to go to the check down. How do you describe yourself as a passer?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say all those things can be true at times. there's plenty of times you get locked in on somebody and you're like, shoot, I missed that one, or I forced that one. And that's why I think, throughout your career, you're always trying to learn. I'm always trying to learn. And even kind of laughing earlier about just the younger me, I was trying to run for more first downs than I probably would like to now, and you just learn, you grow up, you see the game a little bit differently. You understand, okay, that's, in your third step of your drop, hey, those routes are going to be covered. Just find the check down, move on, and all those things. And so I'd say I love throwing it down the field. I love being aggressive. I'm going to always be aggressive, but there's always a fine line that I'm always trying to learn and navigate and just ultimately help get our team in the end zone.
And forgive me if I'm wrong on this. I don't think we've talked to you since the actual schedule came out. The trip to Philly is a Monday nighter.
Yep. Gives
a little more juice. Did you notice that when you saw the schedule?
Oh, naturally. I kind of expected that. So I think that'll be a fun one. But that's week 10, I think. Yeah. So we'll get there.
Last one.
This franchise is pretty desperate for a solidified long-term quarterback. Have you gotten the sense of that? And just how do you feel that extra sort of desire for this position to be locked down?
I wouldn't say I feel that in the building by any means or at practice or anything. You'll hear things from fans when you're out in public and those sorts of things. Listen, I'd like nothing more than to play here for a long time and have a lot of success, but I'm going to take one day at a time, and not put that extra added pressure on myself like we were talking about earlier, and just enjoy it and make the most of it.
Sam, last one.
To JP's point about going deep earlier, the numbers suggest that last year you had one of the best years of your career in terms of throwing deep. Did it feel like that? And if so, why?
I guess it did feel like that maybe to some extent. Last year was last year, completely different offense, not everything. Obviously, we had Jonathan Taylor, who is as dynamic of a running back as there is. And so anytime you have a guy like that, the ability to stretch it down the field, it definitely opens up some things. So I'd say that's probably a big part of it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Command Report. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest Washington Commanders news.